Okay guys, before I dig into the actual fundamentals of producing, I want to go over the sidechain trigger. Now, I can imagine that some of you know what sidechain is, and I'm pretty sure there's also people that do not exactly know what sidechain really does. Now, let's first start about how sidechain is applied and why it is called sidechain. The effects of a sidechain are, I think, really easy to hear. For example, I'll take an instrument. I'll pick my own sidechain here, and I'm going to play. I'll solo it. And this is to an extreme what sidechain does. And you'll hear the sound ducking like this, and you can change the impact of the ducking by changing the mix in my plugin. But that is the effect of sidechain. And now let's get back to the question, why is it called sidechain? Well, that is an easy question to answer, because it used to be really difficult to get your sidechain going on, and you actually needed to have an extra impulse going to another instrument to trigger it, to connect it. It's almost called a sidechain because you would have to take a side path to get there. And the old classic way of sidechaining, I can show you that really easily by removing my own plugin that made it much easier, and going back to a compressor, for example, where you would go to the sidechain option at the right top. And here you can select the path it needs to walk to get to the original signal. So in my case, I want to link it to my kick drum, which is lined up as first here in this little menu. And it will now listen from a side angle to what the impulse of my kick drum is doing. And it works like this. So at the compressor, at the instrument that you want to sidechain is now listening to the impulse of what the kick is giving here. And you can change by all these settings about what kind of an extreme you want to have it to listen to the kick drum. Playing the actual instrument, as you can hear, it is quite aggressive right now, but this is the classic way of sidechaining. You go to an instrument, you'll add the compressor to it, and you're going to select where it needs to listen to. So it really is going for a side path. You know, it is not a direct line, and that is the reason why it was called sidechain. You can connect it to the side to another instrument. Now, this is really something that works. The classic way of working with a sidechain is perfectly fine. You can actually easily work like this, and there's multiple compressors with multiple characters that you can pick within Logic if you want to go for the classic way. But there's different ways to do it, and in our opinion, there was just an easier way to do it. Building Kickstart together with Cable Guys, which is an amazing company, a super creative company. A big shout out to Jacob as well for working with us for so long. This to me was a much easier way to get your sidechain going, and I think it proved in the industry that it was an easier way because a lot of people started using it. I know that Timbaland, which is a huge example as a producer for me, started using it on his masterclass videos, but I saw it with so many other artists, even bands started using it. And yeah, I think what it does, it takes away the more advanced way of sidechaining, and it really bundles everything together to one or two knobs. Now, in my plugin, for example, the first thing that you'll see is that you don't have to link it to something. If I play the instrument right now, you'll see it is already replying and it is already listening to the sidechain setting. And you can change that in the top here of my own plugin called Kickstart. And if you're thinking, hey, my version of Kickstart looks a little bit different, now that can be absolutely true because this is a demo of the new Kickstart that is coming, and it is working already. It is not seamless, but it's working, and that is the reason why I cannot share it with you guys just yet, as I'm still trying it out. But the new version is going to have some cool features. And you can actually see the waveform here showing up, and you can see what the sidechain is doing. So, and there still are ways to trigger from MIDI if you, for example, have an instrument that's playing not on the one, but you have it playing on the like for example, a different creative pattern, you can just link it to a MIDI trigger that you like it to listen to, where you can just select one of these tracks here within Kickstart if that's working for you. For me, I just want to have it listen to one of these options here, which is 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, or 1/1. So yeah, some of the templates here can determine for you how your sidechain needs to operate, and there is the in-mix and depth on the plugin that's going to help you how much you want to apply it to your sound. So that is Kickstart, and that is the classical way of sidechaining. And actually, other than this, I don't use any ways of sidechaining anymore.